Guess who's back? Back again. Janie's back. Tell a friend.
Okay, here's a more step-by-step on the pumpkins. So this pumpkin here, we did slit down the side so that you could reuse this, and we're gonna see how this works. These pumpkins, we're just gonna go with as is because we already had them. All right, so this one we're gonna do cooking oil. So just pour some cooking oil down in there and get a paper towel. And you just wanna get it all on the sides of your pumpkin. Okay, so this one, we cut this in half to make a mold. We have beeswax in there. This one here, we have oil, vegetable oil. This one here, we cut apart, put it back together to see if we can reuse it. This one here has Vaseline on the inside. This one here, we use WD-40. And then this one here is just another vegetable oil. So we're gonna see which works best for removing the pumpkin. So to make the hole in the center, you can use a plastic cup that you don't mind throwing away, or you can also use a Solo cup. And once again, you're gonna wanna coat the outside of it with the vegetable oil, Vaseline, or whatever you're using so that it'll be easier to pull out. I'm also gonna do one with a stick that I found to make a stem. So this, you would just make your concrete and then just go ahead and stick this down. So we're gonna see how that works out. So one sure way to get my husband to get involved in these DIYs is to get him a new tool. So he got this paddle that attached to his drill. It worked great until the concrete, when it started to get a little bit thicker, his drill started to smoke. So therefore we had to go back with doing it by hand. So here's about the consistency that you want to have it. Not too wet, but just kind of like a mud pie. To get any bubbles and stuff out.
It's too hard now. Yeah, the bottom part is mixed up.
So you want to get it almost full. I'm using this cup here, and you want to make sure it's coated, or you can use a Solo cup. It just depends on how deep you want it and how big you want your hole. So go ahead and poke that down in there, and you want to make sure that your concrete is coming up all the way to the top. So we're gonna do one more scoop. And then just push it down in there and see how it's completely level. And then you're gonna wanna put something on it to weight it. Can you grab me one of those 2x4s? So then this is the ghost, so we cut this one in half. We're gonna let it set for a little bit before we flip it over, and then we're gonna tape it closed. So hopefully this one will turn out.
Look how smooth that is.
Okay. Now I'm not moving that one.
No.
So this here is a plastic ghost that I got at Dollar General. We filled both halves with the concrete, let it sit for a little bit before we put it back together so that the concrete would not spill out the sides. We then took some tape and secured it in a few places just to keep it in place. So hopefully this one turns out because he's really cute, and for $8, hopefully we can get a few more if it turns out. I do have a previous video where I used another ghost. It was a ghost bucket from Dollar General that you make the same fashion that you do with the pumpkins. You put the concrete in, you put the cup down the center, and he turned out really cute. So go check him out. The only bad thing about using a mold is that you can only make one at a time because these do take about 24 hours to dry. So if this one turns out, we will definitely have to make a few more. So supplies that you're going to need concrete, you're going to need water, you're going to need a bucket to mix your concrete in. The pumpkin pails, they have those at Walmart. I believe they are $1.98. And then you're going to have some cooking spray, Vaseline, or whatever you are going to use to coat your pumpkins, and have something available to sit on top to weight them down. So check back to see how easy they come out of the pail.